Welcome to the Village Idiots podcast. I am your dungeon master, Nathan. With me, I have Nicole.
Hello.
Jordan.
Hey.
Justin.
Heyo.
And Emily.
Hello.
We are a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. Oh boy. Last week's episode, y'all. That was something else, huh?
Yeah.
Sure was.
Who came up with that? Anyway, every episode at the end we name a village idiot who has to do the recap next week. And last week's village idiot was yours truly. So that means I have to do the recap. So, last episode, at the beginning, the party had just finished fighting a bunch of ooze teeth monsters, but they were beset by a new batch of them, and they scurried away, lickety-split, and they were running around trying to figure out exactly what was going on. They saved some survivors. There was a big old shadow, and it knocked some buildings over. There was a lot of darkness happening. Some sort of super magical darkness that even Drew's amulet couldn't peer through. They ran into some mantles, saw a bunch of monsters, but didn't have to engage any of them because of Drew and Agamir's fantastic work in keeping them safe, thanks to Drew's social anxiety and Agamir's stealth. After one of the waves of darkness, they met up with Sokoba, the Golden Mantle, one of the Golden Mantles of Fellows, the one that they're currently investigating, actually. She had been separated from her Mantle's platoon, I guess, the rest of her group, and she decided to tag along with the party. And they did a little bit of recon. They kept trying to not be engaged by these horrible monsters in the shade pocket. This was a 12-hour pocket as well. So they were in this thing for a long time. Right towards the end, they were up on a hill, and the entire party saw a horrible creature that was very, very tall. And it had lights on it, and it had a horrible light mouth. And it was pretty creepy. But then as they were looking at it, the shade pocket ended and everything disappeared. All of the destruction that they saw occur within the shade pocket. Apparently, once the shade pocket went away, everything was back to normal. And the sun was shining, everything was good. They ran into some lore keepers at their forward camp to investigate the shade pocket, and they met up with the lead on that team from the lore keepers, and also met Kelvin, one of the other golden mantles that they are supposed to investigate. So they found out that Sokoba and Kelvin don't really get along, and then they went to a tavern and they drank heavily to forget some of the things that they had seen, or at least try to. And that's where we are. So, what would y'all like to do? You've just woken up. Everyone roll a Constitution saving throw.
For a hangover?
Yes.
14. I got a 3.
Oh no.
I have a -1 to Constitution.
Got a 12.
8.
All right. Agamir and Drew aren't feeling their best, but Scar and Saph are okay. Saph, surprisingly, can hold her liquor.
Yeah.
That's not surprising. Halflings are known to drink, right?
Sure.
But you're tiny.
So, yeah, everyone is awake. Drew and Agamir aren't feeling their best. What would y'all like to do?
Agamir just, does not move for fear of nausea.
Did we get any sort of orders before from Sokoba or anything to come into work the next day, or?
It was all a bunch of chaos, really, right at the end of the shade pocket there. Everyone was so tired and there was so much more work to be done that you all kind of got lost in the fray.
Did we kickstart that plan to kidnap Reg?
Yeah, we sent that barkeep William, I want to say.
Walter Hillis.
Walter, yeah. Agamir sent Walter Hillis his notice that he was ready to meet, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he will help me get in contact with Reg to give Reg information about this sapphire.
Right. Was there like a time frame on that, or?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so should we just go to work then? Like,
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear from Tasvig. Because we had warned him about the obsidian mantle.
No, he replied back. I thought that, thanks for the heads up or whatever.
Yeah, okay. I think you're right.
He also mentioned that he needed to speak with the consul of Ilar's birth,
That's correct.
and that is Tomas de Bolbec.
Tesvik Duvet, Tomas de Volbeck.
Tasvig is the consul of Fellows, and Tomas de Bolbec is the consul of Ilar's birth.
I don't know, y'all. I guess just go to work, right?
Yeah, we can do that.
Sounds lame, but
Go to work after a night of drinking. D&D.
Yep. So you all head downstairs, and it is eerily empty, except for one person sitting at the bar, and it's Tasvig Duvet.
whoa.
Weird.
That works. Hi.
So he sees you all coming down the stairs, and he says, "Good, you're awake. Come, have a drink."
Okay.
Oh, we did that already.
Hair of the dog.
Drew orders some tea.
Dagamir decides to rally.
All right. You all have your drinks of choice.
Oh, firewater?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. They only have fire water.
Yeah.
So, Drew, your tea is just hot fire water.
Can I dilute it with regular water that I have on me?
Sure, you can use some of your rations to do that.
I do that.
Okay.
My belly hurts.
Mhm.
So you all order your drinks. You get some food in you. You all have a kind of quiet, awkward breakfast sitting there with Tasvig. And once you all are done, he says, "So, I hear there was quite an anomaly that happened in that shade pocket, huh?"
Yeah.
You could say that again.
Agamir belches and just like, yeah, we saw a 150-foot monster. There was slimes and tars crawling through the streets. Buildings were getting destroyed. And it's like nothing ever happened, man. It's very informal right now.
Nice. So, did you happen to get any information on Sokoba?
I mean, not really any actual, like, hard evidence or anything, but personally, I don't think that she had anything to do with it.
It seems like she fucking hates Kelvin. Do you know what happened between them, or is he just kind of like that, TM?
Kelvin can rub some people the wrong way.
There you go.
He has been troublesome in the past, but he gets the job done. So, there's no doubt about that. He is efficient and ruthless when he needs to be, which is a good qualities in a golden mantle.
But, like, he's kind of a dick, so you keep him around because that, like, it weighs out, or
He's always been kind to me.
to you, apparently. That was, she clearly very much does not like him.
Well, if that's the case, I might have an idea. I think that we might be able to get some more info on Kelvin and Sokoba's interpersonal relationships if they need to join forces, so to speak.
Ooh, a team up.
Interesting. I like it. I like it.
This shade pocket has caused a lot of chaos in my borough, and it would make sense that I would have the golden mantles at my disposal investigating these occurrences. And as the consul, I can assign them an emergency honor guard. So, would you all be up to that task of being their honor guard while they investigate?
Oh, hell yeah. That sounds dope. Perfect.
What does that entail?
Is there money in it?
Yeah, seriously.
We got a boat to buy.
I thought we were already getting paid for this job.
Well, it would entail following the golden mantles around, and you would answer to them. Sometimes you would be directly with them. Sometimes they would send you on missions to procure something to aid in their investigation. You would report to them, and it would go on until the emergency honor guard was no longer needed.
Sign me up.
What are you going to say the emergency is?
The shade.
But that's over with.
The fact that they're getting crazier and the fact that there was a big old tall monster in this one.
That's correct. And it seems that the lore keepers have more information than they're letting on. So it's protocol for the mantles to launch their own investigation in tandem with the lore keepers. Checks and balances and all that, you know.
So are these lore keepers still in Fellows?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. They're still stationed at their forward camp and in the heart of the pocket itself, or where the pocket was.
So yeah, let's do it. Set it up.
Excellent. I will reach out to Sakoba and Kelvin, and I'll have them reach out to you. Also, Tomas and I are still investigating the issue with the obsidian mantles in Ilar's birth. So I will be able to follow up with you on that shortly.
Dope.
I've been a little busy with the Shade Pocket and all.
Makes sense.
Understandable. Yeah.
And remember, if you need anything, the Sending Stones.
Yep.
Okay. Dismissed.
Let's go to work.
Hooray.
Are they projecting that there will be any more shade pockets soon, or is that something that the lore keepers are holding out on? Do you think?
Are you asking Tasvig?
Well, yeah, I'll ask Tesvig that. Mm-hmm.
I haven't taken a look at the forecasts lately. You can find them at any of the lore keeper stations. They post them outside.
Do you have the Lore Keeper app? They usually post it.
I was going to say www.lorekeeperforecast.com.
Yeah, so on the boards outside the lore keeper stations, they post the forecasts.
It's just like, we can't tell you if it's going to rain this weekend, but you know there's going to be a shade pocket.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Okay.
I finished my drink.
Tasvig is still sitting at the bar, and he finishes his drink and then exits through a back door. A few minutes after he leaves, people start milling back into the tavern. It seems that he had closed the tavern down.
Weird.
That's power, man.
It's pretty dope, actually. Just like, get out. I have to talk to these people. Wake everyone else up. Let them sleep, though.
Yep.
That's hysterical.
Don't want to disturb them. Just sits down there and drinks till he wakes up. What a power move.
I know, right?
So, you all have to wait to hear from Sakoba and Kelvin. So is there anything that you all would like to do prior to meeting up with them? Any sort of investigating you want to do on your own? Tasvig said that the lore keepers it seems like they're holding out on the mantles. There's the business with Reg.
In the meantime, I would like to write a letter to Dorina Ravenridge at the university asking if she found out anything else about Grandpa.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. If you send me write out the letter that you want to actually send to her and send it to me, and I'll send you her response.
Okay.
Maybe the lore keepers might know your grandfather.
Probably.
Or know of him. We need to go talk to them, right? Maybe you can get us an in.
Yeah, let's go talk to lore keepers. They're being weird.
But like make sure that Drew stays semi-hidden, right?
Bundled up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we get some kind of like, is there some kind of like shape-shifting potion or something that she should take? Or like,
I think later I can get prestidigitation or something that I can use to change the color of my skin if I needed to, but I don't have that yet.
I'm not sure that clerics or warlocks can pick up prestidigitation, but I'll double check on that.
I thought warlocks could.
That's a great question.
I thought it was warlocks. I don't think clerics can.
Wait, Can I do it to her?
You know how to do it to him.
Do you have that skill?
I have thaumaturgy. Can I do that?
Thaumaturgy, I have thaumaturgy too.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just changes the color of flames.
So cloak yourself in flame.
That's not attention grabbing at all.
Yes, totally normal.
Warlocks can get it.
Okay.
See? Warlocks get it. Told you. No, I'll just be, imagine, has anyone seen, did anyone watch Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's like in Powerpuff Girls when Buttercup decides to be her own superhero.
Yeah.
And she's, what is she? She's like the Shade.
The shadow or something.
Shadow, yeah. And she can't go anywhere because she can't walk in the sunlight. Yeah, like that. She's all dark except for her eyes. That's basically what Drew is. Walking whenever they go into the Lorekeeper area. She's got her hood up, her cloak on, her gloves on, everything.
I love everything about that.
Cool. So roll me a stealth for that. Or you can roll with the disguise kit,
I don't have a disguise kit. I rolled a 17 for stealth.
Okay. You are pretty hidden. So at 4th level, you get another cantrip. Another warlock cantrip.
At 4th level.
Of warlock.
So that's when I'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's a while from now, right?
It is.
I don't think prestidigitation does that though to your skin. It's like a puff of smoke or a shower of sparks. I know what you're talking about. I think there is something that allows you to change the color of your skin.
Maybe it's minor illusion?
Yeah, I was trying to read minor illusion just now, but yeah, prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
That word is so hard.
An anemone.
And then an enemy. Okay, don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, it's a sensory effect, like an odd odor, faint musical notes, puff of wind, lighting or snuffing a candle or campfire, cleaning or soiling an object, chilling or warming a non-living material.
Oh, you're right.
Or flavor along the non-living material, making a color or small mark appear on an object, and you can make a trinket.
Said a color appear on an object. Am I an object?
No.
Or am I a creature?
Can you hide your mark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I an object? Wow.
No, that's fine. I think it's minor illusion. We can figure it out later.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I can just keep rolling stealth. I got pretty high stealth.
There are all of these magical spells and stuff that could handle this. There's also, I don't know if y'all know this, but in D&D there is something called makeup that you can use to hide the shimmering of your skin, maybe.
Then I would have to put that shit on every day. No, I'm not doing that. Drew's not putting on makeup. Lost her mind.
Drew's not that high maintenance.
That sounds like my real life. Why I don't.
She was like, I'd rather be experimented on. Have to wake up and put that shit on every day.
Thaumaturgy lets you change your eyes.
That was why I was thinking about thaumaturgy, because you said that when I showed the thaumaturgy to the little kid.
Excellent. So,
if we're heading to the Lore Keepers, I think that's where we're heading. Can we brandish our new titles as honor guards?
Well, you haven't technically gotten those until you speak with Sakoba and Kelvin.
Also, I feel like that's not going to help us, because if they're withholding information from them anyway.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
It's a good thought.
Yeah. For later.
So we go see Sakoba and Kelvin first then?
No, we have to wait until they get to us.
Yeah, they're going to reach out to you. So anything that you're doing right now is your own sort of investigation outside of Sakoba and Kelvin's orders. So this would be...
I think it's better that they don't know that we're with the Mantles, or at least don't think we're too cozy with them to give us information. We should lean more heavily on Saph's grandfather's connection.
Yes, we should.
Just act like we're going there to investigate your grandfather, which we kind of are. So we'll start there and see where it leads.
That's kind of what my thinking was. I'm glad we're on the same page.
I'm looking for my grandfather. Can you help me?
Oh.
Yeah, we haven't used Saph's cuteness to our advantage enough.
We'd be like, we're just trying to help her find her grandpappy.
Grandpapa.
Grandpapa.
I can't find him. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
It's frustrating. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
So we head in that direction.
Okay. So are you going to the forward camp of the Lore Keepers, or are you going to the archives proper?
I think we'll have more luck at the archive, and then we make our way there.
But isn't the archive isn't it in a different section?
It is a whole burrow surrounded by Lux.
Yeah, that sounds really far away.
Yeah, we should probably try the forward camp first.
So you might be able to find, well, you would be able to find the Lore Keeper stations where they post the forecasts and everything. They're basically smaller libraries that, are outposts of Lore Keepers from the archives. So you might be able to find some info there.
Okay. Let's go to the forward camp.
Okay. Because you went to the nearest tavern from the forward camp, you stumble out of the tavern and right into the forward camp, basically.
Great.
There's still a hustle and bustle of activity. Lore Keepers are going to and fro, carrying tomes, being followed by their pages, who are pulling carts full of more documents. Some of them have mushrooms with them. Some of them have dead dark mantles. So basically, when the Shade Pocket dissipated, anything that was like an environmental effect kind of stopped, and all of the living creatures went away. But anything that was dead had been killed by the mantles or some other force remained. So the Lore Keepers look like they're doing some cleanup and also research at the same time.
Interesting. Is there anything that looks like a information center?
Are you looking for the mall directory?
Where's the directory booth?
There are a lot of pages running around, so if you asked any one of them, they might be able to give you that information. Pages are basically the apprentice Lore Keepers.
Do I see a page running by?
There are so many of them.
I stop the nearest one. I as he's walking by, kind of snag him by the clothes, and I'm like, hey, oh God, what are we looking for? Why are we here?
We're looking for the directory.
No, we're looking for information on your grandfather. That's why we're here.
But ultimately...
Yeah, ultimately because of the Shade Pocket, and why they're holding information.
Yeah, they're withholding information from the gold mantles.
Yes, but we're pretending we're specifically just here for the grandfather issue. So where would we need to go here? I guess it would be some sort of... You said they have smaller archives here?
Yeah, so the forward camp looks like it's a mobile base of operations.
Okay.
So they probably wouldn't have a whole lot of records here. This is more for studying on the spot as quickly as possible.
So let's go talk to the leader guy.
I feel like that's a little aggressive. I feel like we should go to the archive bit first. See if there's a librarian type person that can help us first and might be able to lead us in a better direction.
I hate to tell you this, but all of the Lore Keepers are librarian type people.
You know what I mean? A specific custodian of the archives, the mobile archives.
Just, should we say that we're looking for a missing person? Can you direct us to somebody who might know?
That's vague.
Leader of the forward camp, maybe?
See, that's what I said, and Emily said that's aggressive.
Again, I feel like that's too aggressive. We can do that, or we could go talk to somebody who has access to information.
Don't they all?
Or we could go talk to the leader and be like, hey, we're looking for this dude who disappeared forever ago. I know you have a lot on your plate, but...
So, you snagged an administrative assistant. We're looking for a secretary.
What?
You snagged an administrative assistant, an intern, one of the little guys. So we're looking for an actual secretary as opposed to going to the boss.
First of all, an administrative assistant is the same thing as a secretary. It's just a nicer.
It is not.
Well, it's
totally
but
not.
it's also not an intern. An administrative assistant is higher on the food chain than an intern.
Yeah.
Way higher.
No, because I've had jobs as an admin assistant / intern, so I know what I'm...
Well, yeah, you would be an intern admin assistant, but an admin assistant is an actual job. I think we're looking for a personal assistant, somebody who's more.
Episode 22 is brought to you by Glassdoor. Find more information on jobs at glassdoor.com.
I used to work for a staffing company. Titles are pretty important. It would be more of like a personal assistant.
I'm just confused why we're arguing about this. Not arguing, but like why we're discussing this. Like we're literally here to get more information and talk to people. Why don't we just talk to people?
We're looking for the right ring on the totem pole.
I vote that we go talk to librarian, and I feel like the rest of the party just wants to go talk to the main guy. So like, let's do that.
I thought Nate said they're all librarians.
Yeah.
No, oh my God. I'm going to leave this podcast. Sorry, God.
I'm confused.
There are mobile, so there are like mobile archives. So there are mobile like tents, I'm assuming, that have like books and shit in it. And I am looking for the custodian. There has to be like a specific custodian for those books and tomes and stuff that they have brought here. So they brought these books and tomes and stuff here because they think that they are important for the Shade. That's why I want to be there, because those are the cool books that are going to tell us the information we're looking for. And if we can get in there and talk to the custodian who can tell us more about, we can say we're looking for Saph's grandfather, but then also look for books and information on the Shade that they're keeping from everybody else. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. But if you guys want to bust into the main tent and be like, hey, we're looking for some dude, let's go.
You know, there's a saying that you can get into anywhere if you look like you belong there. So if we just walk in nonchalant into one of the tents looking for books, maybe they won't raise any flags. We'll just act like we belong there.
Well, I thought we also are looking for information on your grandfather. And if somebody might have information, that's dope, and we can just use that as the reason we're here. Not like, it's not the main reason, but it is a reason, I thought.
Ask the page if there's, if you've got him snagged in your clutches.
I'm just staring at him. I haven't said a word. It's been like a full minute.
Yeah. Ask him where we can.
Yeah, the pages are generally younger, too, so this is like a teenager.
And I am a very shadowy creature. I say, where are the mobile archives? Like Batman.
I was just going to say, take me cheerleader.
Take me cheerleader. Where are the mobile archives?
That tent over there. He points at a medium-sized tent that's got some banners around it, and it looks like there are a few guards outside as well.
Mm-hmm.
I say thank you and let him go.
He runs off with his books and scrolls.
Okay.
We walk to it.
In what order?
Nonchalant. Side by side.
Oh my God. They're not going to just let us in.
That's what Justin's saying, though, is that like if you look like you,
we can try.
So just walk right, just pretend like we're about to walk right in and see what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do these guards look like? Are they mantles or are they just like lore keepers that work out?
Lore keepers that work out.
Yeah, they're buff librarians. They look to be a branch of the lore keepers, so they're buff librarians.
That's great.
Cool. All right, I dig it. So, all right, we approach the tent.
Yeah, we walk in.
Hey. State your business. Why are you here?
Mantle and mercenaries, we're looking for some info.
Do you have a... Who signed off on this? What? The mantles aren't allowed here. This is lore keepers.
Didn't Emily say not to lead with the mantle thing? Like,
I'm just gonna be quiet from now on. No one's listening to me.
Really, Justin, you need to pay attention, because we definitely said we're leaning on you and your backstory, not the mantles, because clearly they're keeping shit from the mantles. So why would we lead with the mantles?
Because you're wearing a mantle.
So I could just be guarding you guys.
But she's just helping you investigate your grandfather.
Yeah, that was the plan.
We're trying to break them down with, where's my grandfather? And like, you're like, we are the mantles and we are here to see your information.
Like, God, Justin.
Can we retcon our statement?
Can we retcon
Pay attention, babe.
You do the talking then.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No, this is about you and finding your grandfather. I thought we were all on the same freaking page.
Do you have a permit?
I was told I didn't need one because I'm just looking for missing persons.
Who told you that?
One of the other lore keepers.
Roll a deception. Please.
It's valid.
Deception. What's that, charisma?
Yes.
That's a 16.
Well, which lore keeper was it?
I look around and I say, that one, no, he must have run off. I don't know which one he was. They're all in the same robes, right?
It can get a little confusing at times for those who...
Wait, can we remember the guy's name from yesterday?
I don't want to get anybody fired.
Yeah, we don't want to specifically single some person out.
No, but like he was the main guy that Sokoba and Kelvin were talking to. What was that guy's name?
Yeah, the 6-foot tall elf.
Yeah, that guy. Just say that. Just say he was a 6-foot tall elf.
But why would we do that? Because then they're going to go ask him, and then he's going to be like, I never told you that.
How many creatures in this general area are elves? Nick.
4.
Yeah, just say I think he was an elf.
I'm just gonna say, I'm just looking for my grandpa. They said I could look and the information might be here. And I give sad puppy dog eyes.
Oh, you're lost, huh? Okay, well,
I'm not lost. I know where I am.
Oh my God,
Drew nudges
Justin.
Safina.
well, here, I'll tell you what. Mantle, and he gestures at Scar.
So,
Mantle, come here.
what?
What?
Can you please assist this little girl in finding her grandfather?
That's what I'm doing. Literally right now. They told us to come here so she could look at your archives.
Well, I assure you that there are no grandfathers in this tent.
We're not looking for the actual person here. We're looking for information on the person here.
Have you tried your local lorekeeper station?
Oh my God.
Can I hear this conversation taking place, or is this specifically between these two people?
No, it's like right in front of you. You can hear him.
Okay, so I'm going to say this is a special missing persons case because he's been gone for quite some time, and the lore keepers might have known him or written about him.
He was I kind of stepped forward and I'm like, he was a researcher at, what was it, Ilar's birth?
The Halartha University of Ultimate Knowledge.
Ooh, I say that. He was a researcher at the University of Ultimate Knowledge. and he disappeared years and years ago, and we've been following his trail recently. We're trying to help our friend find her grandfather. We've been following his trail, and we are, it seems that he came to this area, and we're looking for specific books on that. We've reached out to our local mantles, we've reached out to our lore keepers, and we're now doing our own investigation.
Roll a deception.
I rolled an 18.
That's a 21.
Oh, okay, she doesn't need any help.
Well, that's all well and good. However, this tent here only holds a limited archive on Shade Pocket specifically. It wouldn't have any information on missing persons.
Yeah, we just wanted to check the limited archive before we trekked it all the way to the big archive. So what do we need exactly to get into this tent to check for the information we're looking for? Who do we need to talk to?
You would need a permission from a lore keeper.
Just any lore keeper?
Preferably a lore keeper that's here in the forward camp.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
We'll be back.
What were your names again?
That's not important. Bye.
That's not suspicious at all. I mean, do we care that they know we're here looking for Saph's grandfather? Like, we haven't said anything weird. So what, is it bad that we give them our names?
I mean, they're gonna find out my name eventually, right?
Yeah.
So
Do you want to just name drop your name?
I'm Saphina Thornburn. I'm looking for my grandpa Milo.
Okay,
Never heard of him?
come back with a permit.
Never heard of him?
I'm sorry, little girl, I can't say that I have.
Okay. So let's go find a lore keeper that is not immune to Saph's big doe eyes, and then we'll get a permit and then come back.
By the way, I don't have my thunder cannon out. It's in my bag of holding, so I don't look intimidating at all.
Are you holding someone's hand?
Good lord.
I can hold Scar's hand or Agamir's hand, I guess. Drew's kind of in the back,
Yeah.
probably.
Looking menacing.
Drew doesn't like to be touched.
Yeah. The gloves would be like...
Weird.
Okay, someone roll me an investigation.
Ooh, I'm good at that.
Do it. I rolled a 9 and I have +0 to investigation.
You are still a little hungry, so you aren't able to really see any lore keepers that might be an easy target for a permit.
That is a 22.
Saph looks through the crowd and eyes a lore keeper that she thinks she would absolutely be able to persuade for a permit.
Sucker. All right, let's go to him. I see a guy. I point.
It's a lady.
I see a lady. I point.
I see you later.
It is a dwarf woman. She's sitting at a table over a scroll, and she is writing some stuff down. She's researching one of the mushrooms from the shade pocket.
Does she look older, or does she look younger, or...
She looks pretty aged for a dwarf. As you walk up, she doesn't lift her gaze from her writing.
Does she look like she's writing frustratedly? Like, hand on her face on the table, like writing with the other hand?
No, she's completely engrossed in the work. It seems like the world around her is completely not there. All that there is for her is her work.
Okay, perfect. So I would like to go up to her on her side of the table, and I would like to just like gently tug on her tunic, I guess.
Okay.
And say hello.
She stops her writing at the tug, and she looks over at you and she says, "Oh, hello, dearie. How can I help you, young one?"
I'm kind of at a loss. I'm looking for missing persons, but he has been missing for a long time. I'm just trying to find my grandfather, and I know he worked with the lore keepers a long time ago. Maybe there's an information booth that we can go speak with somebody at, or maybe you could help us out.
Oh, have you tried your local lore keeper station?
That's the problem, is that we can't get past the lore keepers that work out without a permit.
Well, all are welcome at the lore keeper station. Do you mean that you're trying to get into this tent here? She points at the mobile archive.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, yes, you will need a permit to get into that one. I don't think it would have much information on your grandfather, though. Was he some sort of scholar on the Shade?
He's worked with the lore keepers on Shade Pockets before. He's Dr. Milo Thornburn from the Halartha University of Ultimate Knowledge.
Oh, that name rings a bell. Yeah. So what do you need from me, dearie?
Any chance you can help us maybe get into the archive to look for information?
Oh, I might be able to help you out, but I'm really, I'm so engrossed in my work right now. There really is a lot to do here.
Maybe if you can help us get into the mobile archive, we can find something that'll help you as well.
Oh, well, I do have this one specimen of mushroom, but I really would like to get a larger sample. While I'm working on this, if you can procure me some more mushrooms that look just like this, I'll write you a permit. How does that sound?
Oh, side quest.
Side quest.
I look at the mushroom. What is it?
It's the screaming mushroom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of one of the screaming mushrooms.
Wouldn't that have disappeared with the shade pocket, though? Or was it because it was taken out of the shade pocket prior to it leaving?
That, or it was deceased and was left behind when the shade pocket dissipated.
Like one of the ones that we killed.
Okay. I look at Scar, Drew, and Agamir, and I go, any ideas?
Yeah, let's go. Just, this is taking way longer than I wanted it to.
There's, I'm sure they've got other mushrooms. Like, I'm sure other people are working on them somewhere. We just go find where they've got them and snag one of them.
I say, maybe I can help you, so we'll be right back.
Oh, okay, dearie. I'll see you soon. Have fun. Don't get lost.
I'm loving Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
She goes back to her writing.
Okay. Let's investigate the rest of the camp to find parts of mushrooms.
Okay.
She said she wanted a bigger sample, right? Or just more?
She wanted more samples.
Okay.
So, roll me an investigation, someone.
6.
2.
Drew is still very hungry. Scar is, she tripped.
Thanks.
8.
Agamir is feeling that fire water that he had, the hair of the dog.
There the dog.
I must be very lucky, because I just crit myself and then rolled another 22.
Like a good crit yourself?
No. The bad one.
A bad one.
But I have lucky, so I had to reroll.
Ah, okay. Good. Okay, so you see that there is it looks like a crate of these mushrooms not too far away, but it does look like they're loading them up onto a cart.
Someone go distract them and I'll grab some out of, what's his name? Why can't I think of your name? Agamir. Can you sleight of hand?
I have sleight of hand too. Agamir, what's your sleight?
+3.
Mine's +2.
Mine's +6.
What?
She tiny.
Oh, yeah. So let's go distract them.
Scar, do something.
Like what?
I don't know. Go fall into one or run into one or something.
You could use thaumaturgy to make it sound like there's something going on nearby and they would run to that or look at it.
Ooh.
You can like a noise or a voice come from somewhere.
All right. I'll do that.
Roll me a performance, please.
Ooh, you can cause harmless tremors in the ground for a minute.
13.
For your performance?
Yeah.
So what exactly are you making happen?
I mean, I guess I kind of throw my voice to call out to the people that are... Can I do that? Can I throw my voice like that with thaumaturgy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so I throw my voice and make it sound like someone's calling out to them from the other side of the camp to get them to... And it's like, hey guys, put that down for a second and come here. I don't know.
Over the din of all of the activity, only one of the lore keepers that's helping load the mushrooms hears, and they kind of look over their shoulder and they don't see anyone, and so they go back to loading.
This whole time I was walking up and around them to get to the front of the cart.
Are you trying to be stealthy about it?
Yeah?
Please roll me a stealth.
Oh no, okay.
It's always the question. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Oh yeah. Okay. That's a 17 though.
I'm going to roll another performance to trip into them or something.
Scar just falls. Oh no, my ankle!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I have fallen.
That's a 2.
Ooh, yeah, that's exactly what happens.
What are you trying to make happen this time?
I was trying to go nonchalantly trip and bump into them, but I guess instead I'm going to really just take the whole fucking thing out, aren't I?
When you watch, I was just thinking when you watch male soccer players.
Oh yeah, they just
fall to the ground and they're like, oh god, and clearly nothing actually happened.
Yeah, you bump right into one of the lore keepers. You are not surreptitious about it at all. You knock right into them. They have the crate in their hands, and they throw it against the cart, and they fall to the ground. And they go, hey, what are you doing?
I'm sorry. All this armor. I got caught up in myself. I fell.
What?
My bad. Can you guys help me up? Safina, get your ass over there.
Yeah, no, I 17 to stealth.
Okay,
That was to get to the front of the cart.
roll me a sleight of hand as well.
Okay. Oh, that is a 24
Jesus.
because of +6. Isn't it? I would like to stuff as many as I can into my bag of holding,
Okay,
but not like the whole thing.
all right. So with your stealth roll and your sleight of hand roll and Scar's abysmal performance, this is the scene that unfolds. Scar tries to throw her voice and say, hey, come over here. One of the lore keepers looks over their shoulder and thinks better of it and looks back at what they're doing. Meanwhile, Saph is going around the front of the cart to try and get to a place where she can get some mushrooms. Then all of a sudden, Scar falls into one of the lore keepers and knocks them over. They say, hey, what are you doing? And they do all that. While Scar is helping the lore keeper up, Saph manages to sneak her hand in and get a fair amount of mushrooms into the bag of holding fairly quickly. This all happens in the span of like 10 or 20 seconds.
Nice.
That worked out well.
Looks like you have not been spotted.
Okay. So,
So I make my apologies. Be on your way. Like, bye. Thanks.
Thanks.
I quickly scuttle away from the scene and back towards Drew and Agnir and Scar.
Okay.
And then we go back to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes.
All right. She's deep in her work again. She's not paying you any mind. She hasn't seen you walk up.
All right. Perfect. I would like to take out like 2 handfuls of the mushroom from my bag of holding and just gently plop them down on the table next to her.
I didn't think you could gently plop.
It's like quietly yell, like I did the first couple times.
Stage whisper.
Once the mushrooms are placed down, she realizes that you're there and says, oh, hello again. Oh, that was very quick. Where'd you get these mushrooms from?
I look around and I go, that guy over, no. Oh, I must have lost him.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's fine. This is just what I needed. Thank you so much for your help. And she turns and goes back to writing her research.
So, how about that permit, miss?
Permit? For what?
Oh, well, when we were talking before, I required a permit to enter the mini archives, I guess it's called, right? Mobile archives.
Yeah.
Required to enter the mobile archives, and they wouldn't let me through without a permit. And then you said that you would be able to write me one if I procured some of these mushrooms.
Oh, that's right. I'm so sorry, I forgot. Oh, with age, your memory sometimes goes, so...
I thought she was totally trying to play us.
She has the forgetsies.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay, hold on just 1 second. She pulls out a fresh piece of parchment, and she scrawls on it. What was your name again, deity?
Safina Thornburn.
Okay, and is that with an F or a PH?
The PhD.
A PH.
Okay, she writes your name. And can you spell your last name for me, deity?
That's T.
You don't have to do it on the air.
Yeah, please don't.
No, but it is spelled a little bit weird. So for the listeners, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah, for the listeners.
Okay, so it's spelled THORNBYRNE.
Perfect. All right, and I allow Safina Thornburn entrance into the mobile archives. Sincerely, Felon Jadefinger, PhD.
Esquire.
Can it say Safina Thornburn and Company
Oh yeah, I've got my friends here. Can we all go together?
Oh, yes, hold on 1 second. She pulls out a first page of parchment and she writes Safina Thornburn and Company.
Oh, okay. So I guess she gives that
and then
to me.
she pulls out some wax and she says, "So we just have to wait a moment. I have to put my seal on it. So where are you from?"
Well, me and my grandpa, we're from Gizmoboro originally.
Oh, it's lovely this time of year, I hear.
Yeah, well, we lived in Gizmoboro around the beaches, so kind of in the area of Lux also.
Oh, that's lovely. It's very lovely. And just, okay. The wax is melted. Okay, here we go.
Are you going to be rude and not ask her?
And press my seal. I'm from the Mithril Peninsula. It's quiet, but that's a lie. It's not so quiet, but the archives surely are. She's got her ring down on the seal.
But I bet you spend most of your time at the Lore Keeper's burrow, right?
Oh, well, I do love being a part of the traveling research. That's something that keeps these old bones young is the movement and all of the smiling faces I see.
Do you happen to have a recipe for pumpkin pie too?
Pumpkin pie? No, no. I'm not a fan of pumpkins.
Okay, never mind then.
What? Where is that? Where are you even going with that one?
Because Agamir bought all the pumpkins, and then the old guy was like, "Oh, I have this recipe for pumpkin pie. Let me just write it down for you." And he took like 7 years to get through everything. And he was like, "Oh, my wife has the recipe for pumpkin soup too."
He's making a joke that Nathan's doing the same thing again.
I'm world building right now.
I was going to ask her a question, and then you interrupted with the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
He's making a joke.
I know. I was going to say, how was it working on this particular traveling job? Anything different happen this time around?
Oh, there's not a whole lot that's different from any of the other jobs, but there's definitely a lot more of activity happening with this one. That was quite a long shade pocket. So, yeah, they were a little secretive about some of the things that were happening. But, I'm the lead mycologist of the Lore Keepers, so they don't bring me in on all of the information, just the fungi and the mushrooms and all of that. So, but it looks like they were trying to take some things over to that tent over there. And she points at the largest tent in the forward camp.
That's interesting. So this one was a lot different, and they pulled some stuff into that tent. I wouldn't mind if you told me about that in great detail.
Oh, well, I really couldn't. I was sitting here waiting for the fungi to research. So, and I just saw that they carried it looked like it was a covered wagon, a hand cart that was covered. They just took it straight into that tent, they did. Is she pointing to the mobile archive?
The biggest tent.
The biggest tent. Not the mobile archive, the biggest tent.
Okay.
So we gotta get in there later.
Okay, so I'm assuming she hands me the parchment.
Yeah, she still has her hand down with her ring on the wax. And then the whole time that she's talking and she realizes that she's still got it there, she lifts her hand up and says, "Oh, silly me. Well, here's your permit. Sorry to have kept you for so long. I'm sure that you really want to go find your grandfather."
Oh, that was okay. You were lovely. Thank you so much for your help.
Oh, you were lovely too, dearie.
I flash my eyelashes at her.
Roll me a performance.
You mean flutter?
Flutter my eyelashes at her, yes.
Flashing eyelashes.
Also, no one could see, but he did his eyelashes opposite of each other. He didn't do them at the same time.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I flash my eyelashes at the same time. He did them opposite. So, I'm imagining Sabina being like, "Thank you so much."
Winking one eye at a time,
And just like winking one eye at a time at this poor woman who's like, oh God, I've just let her into the archive.
I rolled a 10.
Okay, yeah, you do exactly what Emily described. It's cute, but in that awkward cute kind of way.
Okay. Awesome.
Like you've never done this before.
Lovely.
So you have your permit to enter the mobile archive.
Okay.
I feel like now that we know that the covered wagon is in the big tent, why are we even going in this place? But
We actually are looking for Saph's grandfather. That is also a thing that we're doing.
But we've also gotten all the from what everyone said, that all the stuff that's in there is about shade pockets. What do we care about that for if we're looking for Saph's grandfather?
We're trying to learn what the lore keepers are keeping from the mantles about the shade pockets.
Yeah, that's in the big tent.
It might be in the archives too. We already got a permit. Might as well check it out.
True.
Yeah, I look at Scar with big sad puppy dog eyes and go, "So you don't care about my grandpa?"
We're not going to find anything about your grandfather in here. Don't even give me that.
We might. They've literally brought all of the books that they're going to need on the shade are here, right here in this tent that we now have a permit to.
All right, let's go.
I think we should go in.
Yes. Okay. I walk up to the muscly lore keepers, and I hold out my permit, and I go, "My friends and I got the permit that you requested."
Let me see here. What is... Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, that's the lead mycologist's seal? Oh, okay.
Yeah, lovely lady.
Lovely.
Oh my God, I just did the same thing in my head.
Like, don't say it.
I know, I was trying so hard not to.
Too bad.
Yeah, lovely lady. You should really talk with her sometime. She's very informative.
She's weird. Oh yeah, the loony broad. Right. The mushroom girl.
Yeah, she's a little off her rocker.
Can we just go in already?
I guess you're the company. He gestures at the three others that aren't Safina.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I take it back and I walk inside.
And then he pushes the curtain aside, and there you are. You all are in the mobile archives. It's not...
Dope.
Huh?
I said dope. Drew, is so excited. She very much wanted to be in this tent.
So you look around, and it's not super large. You know, it's a medium-sized tent with all sorts of books. There are shelves about, and they're all hastily put up, it looks like. And yeah, there is a human inside, who I guess is, or you all guess, is the custodian of these archives.
But I thought all of them were librarians.
This is a librarian or a librarian.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Like an adult or adult.
I was being a dick because this is the exact kind of thing I said would be in here. And everyone acted like no one knew what the fuck that was. Anyway.
Drew all of a sudden falls ill and unconscious.
Listen. All right, Saph, start with you. You're going to be the one that gets us access to the stuff at first. So just kind of start being like, I'm looking for somebody, and you're going to have to try to figure out what kind of books you need.
Okay. I walk up. Who is this person? Describe them a little bit.
Imagine every librarian you've ever seen.
So,
and mash them all together.
Male, female?
Male. Yeah. Very well kept. Every librarian you've ever seen. He has the quintessential female librarian bun.
Okay.
Dig it.
He's got glasses too. Because, you've got to.
Obviously.
Is it human?
Yes, human.
The glasses with the, what is it?
Yeah, the little chain. It's like the necklace.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it kind of comes up. It's a silver chain that goes from the temples of the glasses around his neck. And he looks at you and says, "Hello, how are you all?"
So I walk up, and as I'm walking up, I say, "Good." And I get up to him, I say, "How are you?" And I extend my hand for a handshake.
He goes in for the handshake and goes, "I'm very well. What are you looking for?"
So I'm looking for information about a missing persons, my grandfather, and I'm Safina Thornburn.
Oh, okay, my name is Nicholas Biro. It's nice to meet you. So you might not be able to find any information on your missing persons here. You might want to check your lawkeeper station. They might have some more information.
Swear to God.
He worked at the Halartha University of Ultimate Knowledge.
Okay.
Perhaps there's something here that relates to this because he had worked on Shade Pockets.
Oh, well, you might be in some luck.
Just kind of ask if he minds if we look around. Or is he going to pick the books for us? I want to poke around.
Yeah, mind if we take a look if you're not sure which book we should be looking at?
Well, we may be able to find something. I can, since you're, who is this person? Your missing person worked with Shade Pockets?
Dr. Milo Thornburn, PhD.
Okay. Any relation to you?
He was my grandfather.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that he's missing.
Oh, thank you.
Let me do some digging. If you don't mind, you can look through the books, but please go over to this wash basin and make sure to wash your hands before you touch the books. And no food is allowed in here.
Okay.
Be very careful, please. And please use the lecterns.
Okay, thank you so much.
Drew does that. She goes and washes her hands.
Yeah, I will be right back. He goes to the corner of the tent. He's like 10 feet away from you.
Okay.
Let's go wash our hands and get to it.
Right? I want to investigate so hard.
Everyone roll initiative for me.
8.
19.
19.
6.
Agamir, you're going to be first. So what was your investigation roll? And what are you investigating?
I rolled a 17, and Akamir is looking for a book with pictures.
Oh my God.
You find a book with pictures that is detailing the anatomy of the creatures that you encountered in the Shade Pocket.
Very nice.
Do I glean any knowledges? Can I see their weaknesses?
Is the gigantic creature in there? Maybe?
Roll me a D8, please.
D8. Okay. 4.
Okay, you turn the pages in the book, and you find the mushroom, the screaming mushroom. And it is called a shrieker, you see. And the knowledge that you glean is that the lore keepers believe that the scream of the shrieker is basically like an alarm for the other monsters within the Shade Pocket. And whenever they hear that, they are compelled to go towards the sound. Sweet. So, Scar.
Mm-hmm.
What was your investigation roll, and what would you like to know? Or what would you like to look up?
I rolled a 19.
And what would you like to look up?
I don't know. I don't even care about being in here, to be honest.
Oh my God. You don't want to know how to fight the monsters?
Sure, just any information on any of the monsters, I guess.
Okay, roll me a D8.
1.
Okay, you find the name of the Toothy Boys. You find their picture. You're looking over Agamir's shoulder, and as he's flipping through the book, you see the Toothy Boys. Once he's done looking at the Shrieker, you turn back to that page, and you find out that they are called Gibbering Mouthers. Or that's what the lore keepers are calling them. And their gibbering, it comes from the poor, unfortunate souls that they kill and absorb into their body.
Gross.
Horrifying.
So that mass of ooze and everything appears to be the matter of the victims that they absorb. And the mouths and eyes are also from the victims.
Great.
Gross.
That's awesome.
Drew's next. What's your investigation roll? What do you want to know?
My investigation roll was a 12, unfortunately, but I wanted to see if I could find anything on Shade Pockets and Eladrin.
Can you be more specific?
Eladrin specifically, like how they come about, why they are what they are. Drew wants to know what the lore keepers know, basically.
Okay, so you find that it seems to be like a rather simple book. You're not able to find something that goes really in depth, unfortunately, but you are able to see that the lore keeper's main theory is that the Eladrin are infused with the magic of either the Shade or the Fae. The Eladrin have a foot between the material plane and the Shade or Fae.
Okay.
And that's what allows the Eladrin to do their Fae step.
Yeah. Does it have any information on what they do to the Eladrin that they do find?
You do not find any information like that in the book that you found. Right, and last but not least, Saph, what's your investigation roll? What do you want to find out?
It was a 13, and keep in mind that I am a speed reader, and then I'm looking for any mention of my grandpa.
Okay.
This is not going to work out.
You find a lot of information, but you find nothing with your grandfather. So looking through the books, you gather the names of a bunch of people who were involved in expeditions to the Shade Pockets that weren't lore keepers, but it also includes the main lore keeper on each mission.
Do I happen to find anything about expeditions to Shade Pockets on Tor?
Yeah, it lists. You basically find a record book that's a list of all the expeditions, who was in them, who was deceased in the Shade Pocket, that kind of thing.
Oh.
It's basically like a records book, but you don't find any mention of your grandfather in those.
So there's no mention of the expedition his grandfather went on specifically.
Well, that wasn't to a Shade Pocket, so
okay, that's right.
It wouldn't be in a Shade Pocket expedition record book.
Does it have Kelvin's name or Sokoba's name anywhere?
Since he was specifically looking for his grandfather, he would not have seen any of that kind of stuff.
Can I look for that?
You can, but just at that moment, Nicholas comes back. Okay, so it looks like your grandfather might have been part of an expedition in a Shade Pocket shortly after his graduation from the Hilatha University of Ultimate Knowledge. Were you aware of this expedition?
Oh, man.
Did he tell you anything about it?
He told me what Shade Pockets were, but that would have been way before I was born.
Yes, quite. So, yes, it looks like he was on a few expeditions. It looks like it was more of an internship type situation. Right out of school. So, yes, it appears that, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like your grandfather's, his doctorate was in artificing?
Yeah, that sounds right.
So he was more of an inventor, really, than a researcher.
Well, he, I guess they had electives, right?
Well, that's maybe why he was an intern for the Shade Pocket. Maybe he wanted to dabble a bit.
He also comes from a great family of adventurers, and he himself was a great adventurer. And so they weren't just artificers, but I'm sure he had his hand in many things.
I see. Well, he may have been an adventurer. However, I do not think he was adventuring to the Shade. So, unfortunately, with the limited archive that I have here, I cannot give you any more information on his whereabouts. Perhaps if he was in a Shade expedition and he was lost, I would be able to tell you when that was, but I have no records of... when did you say he went missing?
About 10 years.
Okay, yeah, I did not see anything from any recent history. This was quite some time ago, as I mentioned, right after he graduated. So, unfortunately, I don't have any more information here, but I can direct you to your local, and then at that moment, you hear a dinging noise, and it appears to be coming from something on Nicholas's person. He pulls out an amulet and kind of looks at it and puts it back in his robes. And he goes, please excuse me, I have an engagement to get to. So I'll have to ask you to please depart the mobile archives. Please replace all books that you have been perusing, and please follow me. I will escort you out.
Okay.
All right, thanks anyway.
So he walks you all out, and he looks around, and he heads towards the big tent.
Aw, hell, let's follow him.
He goes in, and you are stopped by more guards going into the tent. As the curtains part, briefly you see a bright light shining inside of the tent.
Oh, shit.
And then the curtains close, and that's where we're going to end.
Yo, we gotta get into that tent.
Yeah, we gotta get into the tent.
How big is this tent?
It's large. It's maybe 4 times the size of the tent that you were just in. So probably 30 by 30. It's one of those big octagonal tents. Like, imagine like a wedding reception happening in there. A small wedding, but a wedding reception.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this episode. I hope that you had a good time listening. I had a great time DMing. Hope my players had a great time playing. So, at the end of every episode, we like to name a village idiot. I say it like that every time, and it annoys me so much. But at the end of every episode, we name a village idiot. And this week's village idiot is gonna have to be Saph.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's valid.
Do we know what it's for?
Yeah, for not being able to RP at all.
No, it's not. It's not.
It.
It's not because you weren't able to RP. It's because Saph said to the lore keepers who were holding information from the mantles, "Hey, give me information. We're with the mantles."
Oh, that's right.
Exactly. Has
That's
nothing to
right.
do with RP skill. Listen, even if you're not good at RP, anyone can play D&D. You get more comfortable with it. I remember when Jordan first started playing, like, he never talked in first person. It was constant, like,
Descriptive.
descriptive stuff. And you can do that and play D&D. That's totally fine. Like, it's not a big deal if RP is not your most comfortable thing. Like, we'll get there. It's fine.
Yeah, I think y'all are doing a great job RPing. You're definitely growing into your characters. I'm so proud of you. But anyway, Justin or Saph is the village idiot this week. I'm so proud of you. You're the village idiot.
Yep.
So thank you so much for listening again. We've got social media where you can talk to us. Right, Nicole?
We do. We have a Twitter. It's at Village Idiot Pod. You can go there and talk with us as a collective group. Or if you want to talk to us personally, you can find me at Nicole the Nerdy.
You can find me at JRoma20.
I'm at Neurotic Good.
You can find me at Village Idiots DM.
And you can't find me because I am perusing my local library for picture books.
We also have a website, villageidiotspodcast.com. We have a ton of cool stuff up there, like the gold count towards Agamir's buying his own ship. You can see who's winning or losing, depending on your point of view, in the Village Idiots tally. There's a lot of fun facts about the world of Landamora and artwork, and a link to our Patreon.
Speaking of Patreon, want to hear more from your favorite idiots? Well, you're in luck because we've officially launched our Patreon. For just a couple bucks a month, you'll have exclusive access to some DM insights with Nathan and Behind the Screens, listen to Nicole and I BS and What's What with Dilly and Dally, and even a mini prequel campaign set in the world of Landamora.
But if a subscription to our Patreon is too much of a commitment for you, we'd love it if you could leave us a quick review on iTunes. If you enjoyed the show, tell your friends about us. New episodes come out every Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Yes. Stay tuned for more of these sweet, sweet episodes. Let's find out next week what that light is. Let's see if Saph can find her grandfather. Let's see if Agamir gets enough gold for that ship. Let's do it! Do it!
Wow.
Thanks again for listening.
Bye.
We'll see you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.